Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here, and in today's video, I can't wait to go over a list of games that I completed in 2021. Now, I know for a fact there's going to be games that I forgot I played and will not make this list because there were so many that I forgot some of them. And occasionally, I'll just be watching something and it'll show a game and I'll remember, oh yeah, I finished that game this year or last year now. But yeah, absolutely crazy. There was just so many, and even more that I started and just didn't finish. So there is an absolute ton, and there's going to be games that I don't talk about on here that I've played through this last year that just, you know, whatever retro games or whatever that just maybe I didn't put them in here because I didn't spend, you know, 20, 30, 50 hours, 100 hours on them. Maybe just did a sit down and played for 2 hours or something like that. So, you know, they didn't take up a ton of my time, so I'm not going to include them on this list. But before we get into it, guys, if you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, think about subscribing. With that said, let's check out these games. So first off, I want to show you guys some of the games that I am currently playing through that I just haven't finished yet, that just didn't make it through the year, but I spent a significant time actually playing them in 2021. And the first one is Spiritfarer. Now, I have this on Nintendo Switch, but I'm not playing this on Nintendo Switch. I'm actually playing this through Xbox Games Pass on my Xbox Series X. This is a really, really cool indie game. I'm having a lot of fun with that game. The next one, now this one needs no introduction, and that is Hades. Again, I am not playing this on Nintendo Switch, but on the Xbox Series X through Games Pass. Now, I have made it to the last boss, Hades. That's basically where I'm at. The first run, I haven't completed Hades yet, but I am right there fighting Hades and can get to him pretty much with ease. I have almost beat him a couple times, but I just haven't finished them. And at the time, I just took a break from it because something else came out and haven't got back to it yet, or I probably would have had finished this game as well. What an amazing indie title here, guys. Like I said, this game needs no introduction. A lot of people know how good this game actually is. The next game came out on PS5, was a day one pickup for me, and that is Returnal. This is an amazing game. I love this game right here, but goddamn is this game difficult. It reminds me somewhat of Metroid in a way, Aliens and others. It's a roguelike game, but man, is it ever difficult. You do repeat stuff over and over, but the way that you do it and progress, you do essentially have shortcuts to get back to some of these areas a little faster, which makes it, you know, I think easier to return to it. But the difficulty on this game is very, very high, especially once you get a couple levels deep. Man, the spike is up there. I mean, this game is no slouch from the beginning, but it definitely gets harder as you progress. But it is such an amazing game, and I had a lot of fun with it. Haven't finished it though, but man, I put a lot of time into this game, to be honest, guys. Okay, this next one, I have beaten it before, but wanted to play through it again, and that is The Legend of Zelda, The Spirit Tracks. Such an amazing game on the DS. I wanted to jump back into the DS, you know, Zelda games, so I grabbed this one first because it's the one I probably had less time into out of the two. And man, what a great adventure. I definitely need to finish this. I'm pretty much right at the end of the game for this one, so definitely need to jump in and finish this guy. And this one right here, I actually don't have the right game that I'm going to show you guys just because I don't have a physical copy of it. I've been playing this game digital on the Wii U eShop. I actually purchased a copy of the game, and that is a Metroid game. Not Fusion, but Zero Mission. Eventually, I do plan on getting a physical version of this. Definitely not a cheap game. This one was not cheap either, but I plan on picking that up. But Zero Mission, absolutely awesome game. I am right at the end of that. Pretty much the next time I jump into that game, I will have it finished. which it honestly is not a very long game to begin with, but a very awesome game and a great Metroid game. Alright, so now I'm going to jump into some PlayStation 5 games. I have a pile here. First one being Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Pretty much the game that showed off the PlayStation 5. This was a PS5 exclusive. It's absolutely gorgeous with this cartoony art style. It looks like a Pixar movie or something, and it's just a fun game. I mean, I think this is almost like an essential pickup if you get a PlayStation 5 along with something like Spider-Man or Miles Morales or something like that. But yeah, had to play through this. Absolutely loved my time with it. Now this one is actually a PlayStation 4 game that I did play on the PlayStation 5. This game amazed me. I loved it, and it's definitely became one of my favorite games ever. The music is absolutely beautiful in this game, and that is Nier Replicant. This version with a bunch of numbers. This is a re-release or a remake, I guess, or remaster, essentially, of a PS3 game. Nier Replicant is such a great game. Now, I am also playing Nier Automata, that game as well. I couldn't find where I put my physical copy of that. I have it somewhere, but I've been playing that as well on Xbox Series X. I'm playing it on Games Pass. But yeah, that as well, an awesome game. But I liked this one much more. I haven't finished that one yet. I'm actually really far into that one. That's another game that I am currently playing as well. But this one I did finish when it came out. I just played right through it. I loved the story in this, the gameplay. I guess they revamped the gameplay quite a bit, made it more like Nier Automata. But man, the music and the story just combined with the gameplay and the different endings and stuff with this game, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Out of those two Nier games, I think this one is by far my favorite. I just thought it was awesome. Absolutely love this game and do highly recommend this, guys. The next one was a sleeper. I didn't know how to feel about this game, but man, I am sure glad I picked it up, and that is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Man, what an awesome game. And this game actually just got a ray tracing support patch, which I'll have to jump back in and check that out with the new patch. But man, this is such a gorgeous game, and really that's what drew me to this game. I seen this game playing at GameStop on their monitor, showing upcoming games, and just the detail, the level of detail in some of the level designs really took me by surprise. I was like, wow, that's the Guardians game? I was like, man, that is gorgeous looking, and I had to pick it up, and man, was I not disappointed. This is a really fun game. I mean, as far as the combat, it gets somewhat repetitive, but God, it's still, the story is awesome, the art style is awesome, the characters are awesome. I mean, there's not much to not like hate about this game. I mean, I really like this game a lot, and I'd say, it doesn't have a ton of replay value unless you want to go through the story again or whatever, because I pretty much got most of the stuff on my first playthrough. But man, what a great story. I think for that alone, it's worth playing again. But yeah, had to pick this up. I muscled right through this game because the story had me. I mean, it was like watching I forget how many hours I put into this, probably close to 20, maybe, yeah, I'd say maybe around 20-ish. But yeah, what a great game. Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely an awesome game, guys. The next one is one that I got, I have pretty much almost every copy that was released of this damn game, and that is Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. I had to get the PS5 version, and it was on this version that I actually, finally had completed all the DLC and stuff. And man, this story is just awesome. I really enjoyed all the DLC and stuff that they added. Just absolutely great stuff here, guys. This game is gorgeous looking. Just such a fun Mortal Kombat game. And this is probably why I have this game for so many systems and different versions for each. is because it's just a great game. And you know, I love Mortal Kombat, but man, 11, they really knocked it out of the park, and it's just a lot of fun. And this guy right here was actually on PS4. I picked it up on PS4, beat the game, and when this came out on PS5, I had to do the exact same thing. And that is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I absolutely love this game. You know, just this world that they bring with Final Fantasy VII. I loved it so much that after I played it here on the PS5 again, completed the DLC, I had to play the original Final Fantasy VII on my Nintendo Switch. And that was another one that I completed this year as well. I just couldn't find my physical copy. I didn't want to rummage through all the 400 Nintendo Switch games to find the one. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII, I did play it on my Nintendo Switch, the original game. So I beat the remake on PS5 with the DLC this year, and played right after that the original on my Nintendo Switch. And man, I still didn't get quite my fill, but I did actually jump into Crisis Core on the PSP for a little while, and then something came out and I got distracted. But man, I cannot wait for the sequel for this game, but had to complete this on PS5. The next one is another game I wasn't sure about, and man, I really enjoyed this. A lot more than I thought I was going to, and that is Deathloop. This game is awesome. I love the main character, Cole. He was just a lot of fun playing as that character, just like everything he says, his little commentary. Yeah, it's just a playful game. I did like the time loop mechanic, was pretty fun, especially once I figured it out. In the beginning, I was a little unsure because I didn't understand how it all worked and if I could, you know, carry weapons over from my last playthrough. But once you get that figured out and you learn that you can, and you wind up getting pretty much OP down the road, it is a ton of fun. And once you figure this game out, you could literally just run right through it in one day, just kill everybody, no problem. But yeah, what an awesome game, and in its own way, I think somewhat of a masterpiece right here. It is just done really well, the things that it does, which make it stand out from a lot of other games as well, because there's not many games that do quite what this game does. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with Deathloop. And this was one I got with my PlayStation 5 when it came out. I absolutely love this game. Still one of my favorite PlayStation 5 games and one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Demon Souls. Man, this game is good. I played this when it came out. I beat it, like, I think I did New Game Plus 5, but I winded up building a new character actually a couple months ago and starting over, and I beat the game with that character and am doing a multiple run playthrough with that character. So yeah, had to jump back on the Demon Souls train, especially with the upcoming Elden Ring. That game has me excited, so I wanted to jump back into this to kind of get ready for that game. So yeah, Demon Souls, highly recommend this beast right here. Such a fun game. Had to knock this out in 2021. And I love this franchise right here. So when this came out, it was a day one for me as well, and I had to just play straight through this game, and that is Resident Evil Village. What an amazing game. Just so gorgeous looking. One of the best looking games. There's so many different designs in this game because you go to different areas, from the village to like the castle area that you're in, to just like some weird sci-fi stuff later in the game. There's variety here. Even when you're in Ethan's house, it's just, there's so much different environmental stuff going on, and the game always looks gorgeous. And the gameplay is definitely fun. Not so much with the survival horror aspect of things. In my opinion, more of like an action horror game. But man, is it really good. There's a scene at the end, kind of reminded me of Call of Duty a little bit. It was pretty funny. I was actually just laughing when I was playing that portion of the game. Those of you that have played through this know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, what an amazing game. I had a lot of fun with this guy. Resident Evil Village, definitely a keeper, and one I will be revisiting and playing through again. This next one is one that came out for PlayStation 4. Absolutely loved it on PS4 so much that I bought the collector's edition. So it was a no-brainer when this came out on PS5 with some DLC. I had to get it again. And that was Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Man, what an amazing game this is. I hope we get a sequel to this. I have so much fun in the Ghost of Tsushima world. Just the DLC was great. What they added just more like, moves and stuff, different fighting mechanics and different mechanics with your horse where you could charge into people. I really liked that they already took something that was an amazing game and just added more, actual gameplay and combat mechanics to it. I thought that was great. Gave you some new outfits and stuff, and just some new story, some more context about your dad in the main game. And I really, really enjoyed that. So, man, I had to play through this game. I actually played directly straight through it all over again, started from the very beginning, played it through it, and then did the DLC. Absolutely love this game. One of my favorites of all time right here. Love it. Absolutely love it. And this is probably my 2021 Game of the Year right here. I was blown away at how much I really enjoyed this game, and that is Tales of Arise. Wow, I absolutely love this. The just fighting mechanics in this game I enjoyed a lot. It kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat, but done even better. And I loved the combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's just so action based, and that's the fun of it. You're performing all this stuff in real time. Then you have like these little cutscene animations that you trigger with your other characters, and you can combo them and have everybody just pile on enemies one after another. You can team up with your other characters to pull off special attacks. There's just so much here with this game. You can use any of those characters to be your main playable character. So there's so many options and so many ways to play this game because of it. I just love this game. The story, I thought it was great. It's gorgeous looking. Definitely was well worth my money that I paid for this. And I did something with this game that I rarely do. I actually picked up some DLC stuff, like that wasn't just add-on story content or whatever. I actually did buy some couple skins and stuff just to mess around with because I enjoyed this game that much, and I'm pretty close to getting the platinum on this. I think I'm like 90% finished. I need to catch a couple fish and find a few artifacts, and I think I'll get a platinum for this game. But absolutely love this. Highly recommend Tales of Arise. What a great game. And like I said, probably as far as a game of the year, this is probably my pick for 2021 Game of the Year. It was definitely one I was not expecting, but one I was keeping an eye on, and was blown away at how much I actually enjoyed this. So moving on to a different console, we've got Control Ultimate Edition. Now, I had this game on Xbox, the original Control release. I picked up and I played through it. I didn't finish it. I was pretty far, probably at least halfway through the game, maybe a little more than that. But then I stopped playing it, and then I found out about this Ultimate Edition coming out that had the DLC and everything, but had updated visuals and ray tracing for new consoles. So I wound up pre-ordering this on Xbox Series X. But as you can see, this game is still sealed. So I didn't crack the seal on this, but I did play this on PS5. It was actually one of the PlayStation Plus games of the month that you were given. So when I was given it, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to open this. So I never opened it. And I played this on my PlayStation 5. You know, with the ray tracing and stuff, I played in the visual mode. Even though when the game got tough, I did switch to the 60 FPS mode because it made combat a lot easier. But this is an absolutely just fun game. It's definitely weird and has some just like stuff that's sometimes even a little hard to follow, but I really had a good time with this game, and I hope they do come out with some sort of a sequel. I did also wind up playing some of the DLC that was in the Ultimate Edition. I didn't finish all of it, but I did finish quite a bit of it. This is just a really, really well done game, man, and yeah, I would love to see a sequel for Control. And this game right here, I actually just started another playthrough. Now that this game came out on Xbox Games Pass, and that is the, holding it sideways, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is an amazing collection of games, especially, you know, with the HD visuals and stuff and the higher frame rate. This is definitely the definitive way to play these games. Now, these 3 games were already on Xbox Games Pass, but now they put the Legendary Edition, and man, I had to start it over again. I love the Mass Effect franchise. This trilogy of games, what an awesome complete story. In my opinion, you have to play all 3 games to really get it and get the full story here. I did start playing Andromeda this year, but I didn't finish it. I'm a pretty good ways into it, but it definitely didn't hold my attention like this. This original trilogy is just one of the best sci-fi stories ever told. It's just awesome. So much that I started another playthrough. Actually, last night I started it, and you know, am already like probably a good 5 hours into the game. I absolutely just love this. Could not recommend this enough. If you have Game Pass and you've never played the Mass Effect games, man, you know, spend the time, start at the first game. You know, the beginning of the first game can be a little slow, but you know, once you get out of the first couple areas, man, it really picks up once the game opens up, and it is worth seeing the completion and then getting into the next games, because man, it really hits its stride in the second game. That's where this series just takes off. But yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition beat all 3 games right in a row and all of the DLC. Absolutely love this. This next one, another one I've been playing on Games Pass. Now, I started out playing the online multiplayer, which released first, and that is Halo Infinite. Obviously, this was a highly awaited game for Series X. It was supposed to come out launch, you know, got pushed back a full year, and man, I think that was definitely the right move. This is a fun game, absolutely awesome. The multiplayer is a blast to play. I don't normally play multiplayer anymore. It's been a long time since I played like multiplayer like this, and I can tell you right now, I jumped into this multiplayer and I put quite a bit of time into it. I was getting kind of hooked on it for a little bit until they released the campaign, and then I winded up just playing right through the campaign. Had a lot of fun with it. Definitely could use some more variety, you know, but where they're going with this, man, I would love to see where they go with the next game. But as far as the fundamental gameplay mechanics, they are definitely all there in this game. Man, it runs buttery smooth. It just feels good to play. I love the addition of the grappling hook. It took me a while to get the hang of it in the beginning, but man, later in the campaign, I was just zipping around, wrecking enemies with it. I was having a blast. So yeah, what a great game. Definitely worth the wait for Series X. Halo Infinite had to finish this game as soon as the campaign launched. So now moving to a couple Nintendo Switch games. And this first one here is Monster Hunter Rise. Man, I really enjoyed Monster Hunter Rise. I have a bunch of the Monster Hunter games, but never like really just fell in love with the franchise. I enjoyed some of the games, some better than others, but man, Monster Hunter Rise, I don't know what it was about it. I just really enjoyed this one, and I am really looking forward to, you know, the DLC that's coming out here in the summer. This one I pretty much played straight through. I was playing it just day after day, playing it on my breaks at work, and I had a lot of fun with this. So yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, I want to say this is the first Monster Hunter game I've ever completed, which says a lot. I mean, that's how much this one pulled me in compared to other ones. And, you know, I don't know if it had to do with that wire bug mechanic, maybe. That had something to do with it, and the verticality of it just made it more, you know, like look like I was exploring a little more, because I like to look for things in games and stuff. But even the wire bug mechanic took me a little bit to get the hang of. But once I did kind of get the hang of it, man, I was having a really good time with it, and just loved fighting the different monsters, and, you know, getting new armors and customizing my build to what I like to battle with and stuff, and trying different things out. What a fun game that came out on the Nintendo Switch exclusively for the time being, which actually now is coming to PC. It might already be out on PC, but man, what a great game, guys. Monster Hunter Rise, had to finish this one. And this next one, it probably is no surprise to anybody that I played through this, and that is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Can't even say it. Yeah, Skyward Sword HD was an amazing, you know, HD remake of it, or remaster of this game. I would definitely prefer this over the Wii anytime. Yeah, playing this game on the Wii was tough for me with the motion controls and everything, and just, you know, the slow pacing of the cutscenes and stuff. This one, you can, you know, they're faster. You can speed them up, skip stuff. You know, just with the actual controls. I played this game with standard button controls, and enjoyed it way better. I think it worked pretty good. I mean, it was a little weird to get used to, but I did get used to it. And then if I tried to do motion controls, it was definitely a little strange. And certain things actually worked a little better, I think, in motion controls. Like, I would switch sometimes just to do like one thing real quick, like if I was having a hard time with something. But for the most part, I played this whole game with just regular controller. I used a Pro controller and absolutely loved it, and played it with the Joy-Cons only when I played it in handheld mode at like work on my breaks and stuff. But yeah, what a great remaster of this game. Glad this finally came in HD to the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, definitely reminded me of how good this game actually is. It has a great story, you know, being that it is the first Legend of Zelda story in the, you know, timelines and stuff. Just a great one to play through. So I'm glad I finished this guy this year when it came out. I will be revisiting this one too. And this next one here, another absolutely great game, a bomb that dropped on Nintendo Switch this year, and that is Metroid Dread. Wow, Metroid Dread is one of my favorite games of all time, and on the Nintendo Switch. It is just a freaking awesome, you know, game, period. One of the best Metroid games in my opinion. Just so much about it is just done so well. The you know, actual gameplay mechanics are so fast and so smooth and fluent, and I think that really sets this above others in the franchise. Even though, you know, there is a lot of great Metroid games in the franchise, just the actual mechanics, they work so well here. And the level design, the art style, I mean, it's just all done exquisite. This game, not only did I beat it, I beat it multiple times. You know, I pretty much did everything you could do in this game other than beating it in under 4 hours. That I was, you know, just trying to speed run this game. and I got my time down to like 4 hours and I think like 7 minutes or something. I was so pissed. So I am gonna have to play through this again to get it under 4 hours, but I'm right there. Right there, guys, to having this game 100%ed by completing that speed run and unlocking everything. But I absolutely love this game. Just one of the best ones to come out this year. So yeah, like I said, Tales of Arise being my game of the year. I gotta say, it's right there with Metroid Dread. I'd say they're probably tied. They both offer something completely different. But man, as far as like action, adventure kind of games, man, this one is the one. Tales of Arise as far as an RPG, but this one as far as like the action and all that kind of stuff, it was all there in Metroid Dread. But yeah, there was definitely some other games that I left out. Some of these I don't have a physical copy of, like, yet anyway, like Kenya, the Bridge of Spirits on the PlayStation 5. That's one that I've been playing through. I haven't finished that one yet. One I did finish that I don't have a physical copy of because I always played it on Xbox Games Pass is Gears 5. I finally beat Gears of War 5. I was so close to the end and I just had to go back to it to finish it. Well, I finally did go back to it like a couple months ago and winded up finishing the game and started playing the DLC. It's funny because that was one that I, started playing and played that main game pretty much when it first came out, and it took me this long to get back to it. But I am somebody that does go back and finish games that I started, even if they take me a couple of years. I just want to see some of the stuff finished and see it through, especially, paying a lot of money for some of these games. I don't want to just look at them on a shelf. I do want to jump in and play these games. But there's tons of other ones, like I said, guys, that I definitely forgetting, leaving out, probably mostly forgetting, because some of them I don't have a physical version of or whatever, because I got, a lot of digital copies through Games Pass or Games with Gold or the PlayStation Plus service or whatever, your games of the month. After a period of time, that stuff definitely all starts to add up to a library all of its own. I mean, I could make a video just on my digital games, which I never have, but I have a absolute ton of them too. But yeah. That's pretty much most of the stuff that I finished in 2021, completed, or am still playing. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and definitely leave me some comments, guys. Leave me comments of what games you guys played through or still playing through. I'd love to hear what you guys are playing. I know some of these games you guys, I'm sure, have beaten yourselves. Or maybe haven't yet. That's why I didn't want to talk too much about any spoilers or anything. But yeah, absolutely awesome. Can't wait to see what I wind up finishing in 2022. But that's the video, guys. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Till next time.